Okay, episode 2, 3, 2, 1.
Finding myself. Hey guys, welcome back to As You Are by Nabil Nicholas. So in today's episode, we are going to jump into everything about me, my childhood, how I grew up, the struggles I went through. Yeah, and honestly, everything in between. So let's start off when I was younger. So I don't know if you guys can tell, or some of you are listening, so you can't see me, but I am a gay Indian Muslim man. So let's dive into that, honey. So when I grew up, I was very feminine. I never really liked to do the things that a regular boy liked to do. I was very much into dolls and all things like girly things like nail polish, makeup, and obviously that created a weird thing for any parent or elders around me, because why would a young boy like me like those type of things? So yeah, I grew up feeling very confused because like I still did the regular stuff, like I played soccer, I did the things that were expected of me, but it was very tricky because I felt like I really didn't like these things, or I didn't like things that a lot of boys did because I knew that I was different. And being different comes with so much. Like I remember in primary school, I used to play Lukusha. I don't know if you guys know that. And I used to skip a lot, like where two people on the sides hold the skipping ropes and you jump in. And all of my friends were girls. So it was always odd to my parents or to people older to me, or like even my peers, like why would a boy always want to be surrounded by girls? And honestly, women just made me feel very safe in my life, because I think um, a lot of women or girls really, they get it. Like you might not be, I wasn't able to verbalize it, but they were able to understand me, and create that safe space for me. So I struggled a lot with getting like bullied in primary school, in high school, because I was very feminine, I was very different, and honestly, that was very heartbreaking for me because I knew that I had a light in me, and I also didn't like the fact that people were labeling me from such a young age, because I think a lot of queer bodies, like, we need our time to find ourselves, and a lot of people rush us in that, or a lot of people also try to silence us. So I felt like there was no winning. So that was just very difficult for me. But yeah, my primary school was quite fun nonetheless. I had fun, but it was very tricky because I think from a young age, people made me very self conscious, because why are you like this? Why do you like this? That sort of thing. Like I did drama in primary school and I loved it because I think being on stage just gave me that sense of I can be myself on stage with no one no one questioning that, because you're playing a character, whereas you being your authentic self, true and true, people judge you a lot for that. And I think just in general in society, that when you're different to the people around you, people just judge you, because you're different and they don't understand you, or they have certain preconceived notions on who you're supposed to be, and they project that onto you. So I think from a very young age, I already knew myself, but I think I just didn't have the strength to. I didn't know, and I think I was young, and honestly, I don't think that any young child should be forced to know exactly who they are from such a young age. But that's basically how I grew up. I didn't know myself, but I knew that I was different. I knew that I was different in the ways, um, in different ways, because I just wasn't like everyone else around me. I was just very different. And I think My parents also knew that from a very young age, like from a very, while I was a very young child, they knew that I was different. And I think that my mom, even though she struggled with it, she really tried her best. Like we really enjoyed baking together. My mom and I have always been close. So I think that was her way, like we connected, that was her way of connecting with me. I mean, I even played netball with the girls in primary school, and that was loads of fun because I just felt like I was just myself. I was doing what I wanted to do. And then when I went to high school, I think I just got tired of everything. And then in grade 8, I just decided that, yeah, I'm gay and this is who I am. And a lot of people that knew me in the past, like from primary school, it wasn't a shocker, but to some it was an adjustment, I would say. Like a lot of my male friends, I would say, they try to distance themselves from me because I think that when you're friends with someone who's so open about who they are, people also tend to judge them and be like, are you also gay now? Or like, do you guys like each other? So it put me through a weird stage of my life where I felt like I actually couldn't be friends with boys or guys because it like would put a target on their back, and I constantly had a target on my back by a lot of males in general because I think that when you're so out there and when you're so feminine and when you're so comfortable with yourselves, it triggers something in them, and I don't know what it is. But yeah, it triggered a lot of people around me in a negative way, and it wasn't my fault. It was just them, I don't know, doing or being what they were told to be in their lives, that this is not normal, which is sad. So yeah, I went through grade 8 being myself. I had a lot of friends. I've always been a bubbly person, and I think I was just surrounded by so many people that really embraced me. But at this time, my parents didn't know that I was openly gay. So they knew that I was different, and I had friends that were girls, but it was never really a discussion of, are you gay, are you not gay? It was more of a like, don't do this or don't do that sort of thing. And honestly, I don't blame my parents for the things that I've gone through, or I think it's just no one gets, no parent gets shown or taught how to raise a queer child. And I think today it's more of a normal thing, and I'm not trying to normalize that either. It doesn't mean that that it is okay. I think that you should kind of go through the walk with your child, and I think that's what my parents really tried to do. So yeah, I went through high school suffering a lot with my identity still. I think I was very much a confident person, but I think I struggled a lot as well. Yeah, so then grade 8, grade 9, similar stuff, grade 10, really fun. And then it came to grade 11 where I really started going through a lot because COVID hit. That was 2020. And I was home a lot. And honestly, I felt like I was in the stage where I was a cocoon and I was becoming a butterfly. So my wings were ready to spread, but the people around me were not there with me yet. So in grade 11, I actually officially came out to my parents. I wrote a letter to my mom, and I wrote down me just basically explaining this is who I am, and I think you guys know, but I really want it to be an honest dialogue, and I just want to be myself. My mom took some time to process that, and yeah, that was grade 11. And then in matric, it was hectic for me because I got COVID in matric. But I managed to fight it through and see it through. But then I went through a lot with my mental health. I was going through a depression where I couldn't wake up in the morning. I would always be late to school because I just did not have the energy anymore. I mean, COVID played a part. Me trying to be my most authentic self played a part. And I decided, and I spoke to my mom, and I'm like, I need to see a therapist. And that is when I started going for therapy. And that was a journey on its own because I think a lot of the time it's difficult to accept the things that you're going through and accepting where you are in life. And it was something that I was struggling with. And I think I was also struggling with the fact that I felt like I was running and the people in my life were walking. And that was something that like was really troubling to me, and that is something that we struggled with. And there was a good friend of mine who was much older than me. She was turning 21, and I really wanted to wear makeup to her 21st. And that didn't necessarily go well with my parents, because I think it's a different thing for your child to be gay, and then it's a different thing for your child to want to start wearing makeup and being so out there and so loud about it. So my parents honestly took some time, and like we had a few arguments here and there, and then we finally got to the point where my mom and my dad saw my therapist, and they had a session, and they made immense progress. My mom ended up taking me to Foshini and to Diskem, and she basically started my makeup kit. She bought me all the things that I needed to start my makeup kit. And that was the first time that I ever wore makeup. And I felt so alive. I think that was the one moment in my life where I really felt seen. I really felt like I was being my most authentic self. And it took so much from me to get to that point, because I was honestly exhausted, but I knew that there was a light for me at the end of the tunnel, and I knew that this was my time now. And I'm glad that my parents started walking the journey with me, and I could never thank them more for that, because it's honestly been such an amazing journey, because I think no child wants their parents not to be proud of them. And I think my parents really started understanding who I was and what I wanted out of life. And that started the brink of me ending up starting content creation and honestly exploring with makeup. I have always loved beauty, skincare, and that was how I essentially started my career in content creation. I started doing makeup. I started food content at first, and then I ended up moving into beauty content, and that is really where I wanted to be. For a long time, when I looked at other people doing makeup content, it would really excite me. And I am a self-taught MUA, if I will say myself. Yeah, and I started my journey there with makeup, and it's been absolutely amazing. I have not put down the brush once. I just keep doing it, and it's been tough because I think a lot of the people in society or the people around me also didn't want my parents to get to that point where they accepted me, because like I said, I'm an Indian Muslim gay man. So in the Muslim community, this is something that's not common. It's not accepted. It's not you don't see a lot of people like me being so vulnerable, being so open about who they are. And honestly, I knew that I knew that God gave me something to offer to the world. And a lot of the times, people have put me down, and they've successfully done that. But by the grace of God, I've gotten back up, and I realized that like it's in my power. And people say a lot of things about me constantly, whether it's people I went to school with or family members, say a lot of things about me, but I know who I am, and God made me this way. And that's generally why I wanted to share this episode, and I wanted to record this, is because I want someone who has been marginalized to look at me and think, oh my God, if he's gotten there, I can also get there. But it didn't happen overnight, and that's what I want to put emphasis on. Your journey takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to even happen over a month. It's going to take time, and you need to be patient with yourself. And that is something that I still struggle with at times. Sometimes you need to give the people around you time to get there, but you also need to reinforce to yourself that it's not your fault that they're not where you want them to be or where they're supposed to be with you on the journey. You need to keep uplifting yourself and surrounding yourself with chosen family that's really there for you. I mean, I think if it wasn't for my friends, I don't think I would be the confident person that I am today, and I wouldn't strive for the things that I strive for, because we all need support. We all need a support structure. And I was lucky enough to have friends around me that really uplifted me and went went on the journey with me. And that has been a testament to show that sometimes, yes, your family is your family, but your chosen family is really like, they really make the world and more. And that is something that I will cherish forever. But yeah, I have gone through a lot. So now that I've been out of school, it's been much different. I think when you leave, when you're in school, you want to do a lot, but like you're still young and your parents still want to shelter you. But I think once you end up leaving high school, you're able to like really see and go through life and figure out who you are. Like, if you're a high schooler and you're listening to this, please do not think that your life will be the way it is right now forever, because it won't. I'm literally a testament to that. I thought that I would never get to the place where I'll be able to just freely be myself. And like, I never thought that my parents would ever come around, and they really have. And it just shows, I mean, that might not happen for everyone, but I want you to remember that your journey is your journey, and do not ever compare your journey to the next person, because I think a lot of us look at other people's journeys and we're like, oh my god, they got this or they did that. Your time will come. What's meant for you will be yours, no matter what you're going through in your life. An opportunity will come one way or another, and you need to believe in yourself, and you need to take the time out to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your mental health. You need to take care of your physical. You need to take care of your mind. You need to take care of your spirit. You need to do a lot of things to get to that point. And unfortunately, it's not the best advice, but I had to grow a thick skin, because a lot of people will try to deter you from where you're trying to go. A lot of people will try to deter you from where for. Okay, I've been speaking, but okay. A lot of people will try to deter you from the journey that you're on, but you constantly have to put yourself back on track, because you know where you're gonna end up. And even if you don't know, you need to pray about it. You need to journal about it. You need to speak about it to trusted people that you can be vulnerable with. And that's essentially it. You really, really, really need to pull through. And I don't think if I didn't go to therapy, I don't think that I would be the person that I am today, because I think I learned so much about myself. And a lot of us learn habits and learn things from the people around us. Some are good, some are bad, but you end up learning so many bad attributes, and you continue that cycle, and you have to get to the point where you know that this is not what you're trying to do, or this is what you're not trying to achieve. For example, I want to be in media, for example. I'm not necessarily going to get advice from a close-minded person, because a close-minded person will not understand me. They will be like, it's not sustainable, it's not like this. So you also need to decipher the advice that you're getting, because I think a lot of the times we can get caught up in advice that we also get from everyone around us, that we don't listen to our own voice and our own intuition. And that is something that I had to learn, and something I had to learn constantly, that I know what's best for me. I might not know all the answers, but deep down I know where I want to end up, and you low-key know the steps that you need to take, but it's a matter of taking them. And that is something that I had to do in order to get to this place. I never thought in my life that I would actually have the strength or take the courage to start a podcast, but it's something that I knew was inside of me, and I ended up deciding this is what I want to do. And you also honestly need to sometimes put your pride in your pocket and ask the people around you to help me. Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my small team. My best friend is my manager. She is helping with the setup and everything, and her brother Mapulana is doing my sound. So shout out to him for that. And honestly, if I didn't speak up, I would never be able to film my podcast, because I can't do everything on my own. So there are going to be people around you that want to help you get to where you want to get to. but it's also about allowing people to hold that space for you. And that is something that I had to learn as well, because I think a lot of us go through a lot and we internalize that and we hold that in. And at times you need to let people in. You need to let people help you. And I know it's very difficult to be vulnerable and to be so in tune with your spirituality or whatever. But honestly, that is what is gonna save you. In life, you need community. No matter how much you can work hard and you can do whatever, everyone needs a friend. Everyone needs someone who's in their corner, who is really gonna be there for them. So yeah, that's been my journey of finding myself. It's been rough, it's been bumpy, it hasn't been easy, but I don't think I would choose any other journey. It's really shaped me into the person that I am today. I don't think I would have the I don't think I would have the drive to do new things if it wasn't for the things that I went through, because I think the things that I went through really taught me how to get myself back up. I struggled a lot with being hit down or being depressed or having a lot of failures or there's a lot of no's or things are just not going your way. And through my journey, I had to learn to pick myself up. So within my life, I've implemented that way. I'm still able to pick myself up even though life is not going the way I want it to go. So yeah, this was very much like a Dear Diary episode. I really wanted to be as raw and as vulnerable as I could be. And something that I just want to leave with you guys is, you know, you can want acceptance from people, and that can be tricky, but the acceptance that you should be yearning for is from yourself. You need to be able to accept yourself for your flaws, for who you are, for what you stand for, and really, really accept that and honor that and not talk yourself out of it. And that is something that I want to leave you guys with. And with that, I've learned through my journey how to be honest, how to be vulnerable, and I've gained strength. Even through the darkest times, I never thought I would see the light. And just by allowing myself to feel and allowing myself to grow, I ended up coming out on the other side. I'm not saying I don't have bad days. I'm saying that I'm still able to go for the things that I want to go for, even though I might not be at the place that I want to be. So, yeah, guys, this is finding myself. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I hope to see you guys soon. Please do like, share, and comment if you guys are watching this on YouTube. And please do share this with your friends and family. And please do stream this on Apple Podcast and Spotify podcasts. And I really loved being here, and I hope to see you guys tuned in next week. Love you. Bye. How was that episode, guys?